Hello. Hello.
Today we're going to have a writing class where we'll be writing for business and specifically writing an email for Airbnb. So let's get started. Today we have 45 minutes, so that's nice. We'll go through a normal topic, just like a usual group class, but then we'll have 15 minutes extra to practice writing, and we'll be writing together in a Google document that I will give you the link for in a moment. Okay, so to start with our topic, I have a question there to answer. Have you ever used Airbnb before? And did you communicate with the host, the person that has the property, right, the apartment? Let's start with David. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good, glad to hear it. David, where are you from?
I live in Mexico City, and I'm a mechatronic engineer.
Cool.
I study English for grow in my job, for find a new job.
Oh, for finding a new job?
Yes.
Great. So about Airbnb, David, do you...
About Airbnb, the text?
Well, the question, have you used Airbnb before?
No.
Is it common in Mexico City?
No, it's not common. Use other applications.
Is it
Airbnb is for find
it's
find a house in other place.
yeah, it's like instead of staying in a hotel, you can pay someone to stay in their house or in their apartment, right?
No,
So it's
in Mexico is not common use Airbnb. In the internet find a house person to person is not common use
no.
Airbnb.
Oh, okay. So and this is just for like it's like temporary, right? So it's not
Yes,
buying a house.
a
Okay.
rent for a
A trip or something.
yes, rent for days, maybe 5 days, 2 weeks.
Okay, so people don't do this in Mexico very much. Got it. Well, we'll look at the website a little bit today, David, so you can see how it works. And if you ever take a trip to the US or another country, it's a great, affordable, very cheap way to stay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for sharing, David. Nice to meet you. Welcome to class.
Nice to meet you too.
Hi, Chung. How are you today?
Hi, teacher. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
Today I'm fine, and in this topic today, writing, and now I try to save my time and focus on the writing, and I waiting the last. I think sometimes I feel sleeping, and I try to study because now it's the midnight in Vietnam.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and
That's late.
yes, and in this morning until now, I think I joined with about 10 labs today.
You've done 10 classes today?
Yes, in
Oh, wow.
in the days from the
Lots of studying.
yes from the 5 a.m. to the afternoon, and in the evening I don't join any labs because in the evening in Vietnam many people join in labs and I don't want to join more. And I save my last in this last because in this last is a topic in writing skill, and I join in waiting. I think I waiting from the until the 8 a.m. 8 p.m. Until now. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you're here. I know it's late there. So you tried to do classes later because there are many students at earlier times
Yes,
in
because
Vietnam?
in Vietnam it's a very late, and I think nobody. I think it's a little people to join, and in the morning in Vietnam in the same way. And I try to join in the last with the some a little student. Yes, because in some last with lots of students about for 7 or 8 students I cannot study a lot of things. I can practice my basic skills. Yes.
Yeah. With larger classes, it's hard to get more time to speak. But for both of you, if you do writing classes, the limit is 4 people. So only 4 people maximum in a writing class.
If the last
So if
writing skill just have only 4 people.
Or in a writing class?
Oh, wow.
Yes. So writing class is limited to 4 people
And
because
it's
it takes more time.
45 minutes.
We have more time. Yeah. And then it takes more time for me to help everybody with writing.
Yeah.
So it's nice. It's a little more relaxed and few people. So
Yes.
if you guys want to practice writing, I suggest it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here with us, Chung, even though it's so late in Vietnam. But what about our topic? Is Airbnb common in Vietnam? Have you used this before?
Yes, I think I know Airbnb for a long time, but I never use Airbnb before, and because in this topic, I also to love it's. I know Airbnb application website for looking the room, the place for travel, for living, and because in my in my business, not in my business, in my thinking, and my because in the future I want to do the same thing with the Airbnb, because now I do a website and application for looking the house, the apartment in Vietnam, and I love
Oh, is
to.
it similar to Airbnb, but just for Vietnam?
I don't know
Or
what
is it
be
different?
I don't know what B&B they are, and I just know they just application for the find the place, yes, and with me I I use technology in the streaming uh, for everybody recording their house, and they posting their house to our website and to
In
yeah,
order to rent it to other people?
yes,
Okay.
it's
Sounds very similar
yes,
to
and
Airbnb.
I try to do that, but I think Airbnb just like booking.com or Agoda. I think the same, because in
I
Vietnam
don't know about those sites.
because in Vietnam
Are those
many application or website are looking for the 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 hotel, yes,
okay?
and
So it sounds like what you do or what you want to do is very similar to Airbnb. So I think today will be useful for you, especially if you want to, communicate with other people in maybe an English-speaking country. You can
yeah,
see how the site works for them.
yes,
It sounds very interesting for the future. Okay, so David Chung, let's go ahead and look at the Airbnb site. All right, so I know you guys both haven't used it before or haven't used it much. So I actually have one that we're going to work with today. So our topic, we're going to be practicing writing an email to the host. So typically when you make a booking on Airbnb, you send a message to the person and say, okay, this is what I'm doing on my trip. I'll be staying for this many days. I'll be with 2 friends. I need this. What do you have? You introduce yourself. So that's what our writing practice is. So just for you guys to understand a little bit better about how it works, it's very common now in the US. I've used Airbnb in my own state. Like if I go to the capital city here, I've used it. It's very affordable, very easy, right? And much cheaper than a hotel. So usually when you find a place, this is in New York City, you can go through and see the pictures, right? So this is the space, bathroom, bedroom, that's the view, right? Times Square. $40 per night. So, David, do you think this is a good price?
It's a good price.
I think it's a really good price. For New York City, you get the entire apartment. So you have the whole apartment to yourself. Chung, what do you think about the price? You think it's cheap, expensive?
I think it's right, it's cheap,
Yeah, I think it's
yes,
very cheap. Of course, sometimes the prices change for certain dates. So, for example, there's only one day in January. Let's see the price. No, it's $40.
yeah.
But this is where it gets a little more expensive. There's fees, right?
Oh,
So each host can choose how much they want to charge. So this person, it's $60.
wow,
So for one night, it's expensive. But if you stay for 4 nights, then it's the same fee. So staying 4 nights would be cheaper than a hotel for sure. So this is what you have to look for. Then there's usually service fee. That's Airbnb's fee, right? So you're paying Airbnb $13, and then different states charge different taxes. But this is a New Jersey tax. Because hotels don't like Airbnb, it takes away their business. So that's a little bit about the price.
I think because the price you give in the website just $40, but we have to pay 120. I think it's a trick, right?
A trick, yeah, it's kind of like a trick, yeah. But let's see here. If we stay, for example, 5 days in March. It's more expensive. But I think this is because of time of year. So in March, this is spring break. David, do you know what is spring break?
Like a holiday?
Yeah, it's like a holiday, but for universities. So university students, they get 1 week of break in March. So they all travel. They all travel to someplace. So in this case, it's now the price is $95, but it's because it's a high season time.
Wow.
Let's try this. But because in spring break, everybody will go, 95. Okay. So yeah, like you said, Chung, it seems like a trick. You have to be careful, right? The prices can change, and the host can choose how to change it. So again, this is 95. So not as good of a deal as we thought, but a lot of time. You have a question?
Then in Christmas is very expensive.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it's very expensive. So
in Christmas and spring break in all the holiday.
I think so. Well, this is how it works. So the host, the person can choose, okay, this day is this price, this day is a high price. So probably what's going on with this one, it's so cheap because there's only 1 night available. So he just wants to rent it. He wants to have it occupied.
Wow.
Even though it's 1 night. So he'll put a cheap price there, but then if you want more time, it's more expensive. So this is New York City, right? New York's very expensive, but in other places it can be affordable. Did you want to say something?
So I think it's very useful because the owner of the house can deal with the on day in the month and with the empty day, and we can book. I think it's the good way for using the room in the house or the house.
Yeah. If you have your own house and you have a spare room, like an extra room,
Yes.
you can rent it. And that's, yeah, exactly right. Many people do this. So they may have an extra room with a different door, so a separate entrance.
Yes.
Then they close that part of the house off and use that for Airbnb.
Yeah.
And if you're in New York and you charge $100 a night, that's a great way to make money.
Yeah.
So,
and in Vietnam, we are also, and in Vietnam, when we have the room with the same entry, and the people still use this room for the Airbnb. And
and that's also common.
Yeah, in Vietnam, I think a lot of house in Vietnam become room hotel when they using the Airbnb service.
Yeah, so that's also very common. Just to be in someone's house, but you pay for the room. Then the price is much cheaper for this rather than a private apartment. Okay, so let me just show you guys a couple more things before we go to the text. So when you go in for to look at an apartment, it shows you the amenities. So amenities are things that are available, basically. So Wi-Fi, there's an iron.
The extra service.
Um,
house
So it's not extra. We could just say services,
services.
amenities. You will hear this with hotels a lot as well. So a hotel amenity would be like pool, gym, things like this.
All right.
So they have Wi-Fi. There's a workspace for a laptop, right? So you can work. There's a TV. They provide towels, sheets, soap, toilet paper, heating, air conditioning, free parking. Then usually they provide everything in a house. So coffee maker, dishwasher, microwave, refrigerator. Well, this here maybe isn't everything. Some of them have where you can cook. Looks like this one only has a microwave. So nowhere to cook, but so basically you have all of these things, right? He doesn't provide a kitchen or a washing machine.
All right.
Then you can see reviews, right? People really like it.
Comment.
What they say. So he's got 5 stars on everything. Pretty good.
Yes.
Okay.
And then
The top
he
three is a super host.
Yeah, he's a super host. So let's see what this means. Okay, super host. You see our. Do you want to read this, Debbie?
Yeah. Super hosts are parents, highly rated hosts who are committed to providing great state for guests.
Yeah, so he has a lot of experience and very high ratings. So everyone gives him 5 stars. He responds to every message. So response rate is the number of messages he replies to. And then he always replies within an hour. So in less than an hour, he will reply to you. So he's a super host. Okay. And then it gives you a map. So you can see the map where it is. It won't give you the exact address until you pay. So after you pay, then you see the address. But this just gives you the area it's in. Then the rules, no smoking, parties or events, check-in, check-out time, and then you can cancel for 48 hours without paying. So each host has different policies for canceling. Okay, so we're gonna write to Cam.
We pay
Yes.
we pay first or we pay late after we leaving, we staying.
You pay first. You pay first.
Pay first, yeah.
Yeah, because of the booking, like basically you book, you pay, and then that's your time, right?
Yeah.
If you decide to cancel, he gives you 48 hours to cancel with no fee. Okay, so here, but if after you book 7 days and you want to cancel, then you can only get 50% back of your money.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you have to pay before. So we're going to write to Cam in our email. Let's take a look at our example email, and then we'll go to our Google document. So I'd like each of you to read a part. This first part, Chung, can you read?
Yes. Dear Alex, I will be spending Christmas and New Year in London and meeting up with some friends from Belgium. Came across your listing and thought it'd be perfect for our stay.
Sorry? Yeah, this is itted.
It
It's the same as it would. It's the contraction. Itted.
it
good.
It would.
Would be, yes.
All right.
All right, great job. Thanks, Chen. And David, you can go ahead and read the rest.
All right. Personally, it'll be my first time visit London, and I'm looking forward to having a wonderful time. Hope to hear from you soon, Josephine. P.S. Other than enjoying a glass of wine, none of us party hard, drink heavily, or will be having any pets around. Since I'm fatally allergic to cat fur.
Fur. Cat fur. This one here, fatally.
Fatally.
Good. And then, yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so Josephine's writing to Alex, right? Alex is the host. So, Chung, what kind of information does she give him in her message?
Sorry, teacher, can you repeat?
Sure. What kind of information does she tell him in this email? Like what details? What is she saying?
In information in email, and email talk about the the house in London, and it's available for guests to stay in there, and they take note about the thing don't do don't do this the thing when the guests stay in the house.
Yeah. So talks a little bit about the apartment, right? She says, "I came across your listing."
Came across your list.
Yeah. So listing, that's right, Chung. And then listing, David, do you know what this is? You think
It's
it's
like
I think the new for the housing or the hotel.
the news, the advertisement, the ad? Yeah. Yeah. Is that what you were going to say, Dave? Yeah. David, can you read?
the piece of paper when the instruction about the house, maybe, or
It's an advertisement. So an ad.
All right.
Yeah.
Advertise.
Yeah, as you said, Chung, like the news, but we would say an ad. So this is a listing, technically,
Yes.
right? They're saying, I have my apartment, it's for rent. That's a listing. Yeah.
The
So
rules in the house.
the rules, not really the listing, right? On Airbnb, this includes a listing. This is included in the listing. But a listing can also be in the newspaper, right? When we see it just says house, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, that's it. That's a listing. So in Airbnb, the listing has rules, but in general, listings don't have rules. Does that make sense? So the listing, right? She saw it, and then David, what else does she say? What other information does she give to the host?
The information of the listing?
No. What does Josephine? What information does she give him about her in the email?
What information sent into email to Alex?
Yes.
All right. The email to Alex is it's because Josephine find the listing and send email for for I don't what is the word? Congratulations and
An introduction, maybe.
yeah for I don't know for
Just,
well the email is about find the listing to Alex and and format it's
so, yeah, she found the listing and then she's giving him information about herself and her trip, right?
yes.
So it's like an introduction. So she's saying, hi, this is who I am. I'll be spending the holidays with my friends. I'm looking forward to spending time there, right? So she's telling her plans. So usually when you go on Airbnb, the host will email you first, and they'll say, hi, what are your plans and how can I help you with your stay, right? Can I give you advice? Can I give you maps or suggestions?
In this listing, Alex recommended the places or the restaurants or the
Sometimes they do this, but a lot of times the host will send you a personal message outside of the listing, and they'll say, tell me what your plans are and if I can help. They want to know a little bit about you so they can trust you. So that's basically what he probably said. It was like, hi, Josephine. I saw you booked. I'm glad to have you. Tell me what your plans are. Something like that. So that's what we're going to be practicing writing, is this kind of an email. She also gives some personal details, right? So Chung, she says, none of us party hard. What does party hard mean?
I
You
don't
think
know.
it means to drink a lot or just drink a little?
I think drink a lot.
Yeah, so party hard means like drinking a lot. They don't party hard here. They don't drink heavily, right? And she says, I will have no pets.
Yeah.
So these are important details we should tell the host, right? In the rules, we saw no parties, right? No pets. So each listing has different requirements. If the person says no parties, you can tell them, I don't party hard, right? Then they will trust you. Okay. Do you guys have any questions about this example email?
No.
Okay, so
it personally, it'll be first time. It is contraction for what?
it will.
It will.
It will.
And the pronunciation is
It'll.
idle. All right.
Yeah, those are tough. Those can be hard sometimes. Okay, so we'll be, let's go to our Google document. We'll write an email with an opening, the body with this information, and then a closing and your name, all right? So here's our document. I'm gonna put the link in the chat for both you guys. There's the link.
Yeah.
And here's our document, so I'll wait for you here. Can you guys open the link there? Okay. Great. John?
Yes.
Did you open it?
Yes.
David, did you get in?
Yes, I wonder.
Okay, David, okay, I see you're both there. Great. Okay, so I just made a brief summary of the email from before, right? So we're gonna write to Cam. So if you want to open this link, the link is here on the second page. And I want you to write to Cam and tell him about your trip. So imagine you reserved a room. You reserved the apartment in New York, and gives the same details from our example. So, say, Dear Cam, tell him how many days you will stay, why you're taking the trip, the reason, right? Is it vacation? Are you there for work? And then give some details. Like she said, I don't party hard. I have allergies. And then if you want some special requirements, maybe you say, I need Wi-Fi, or I need, something like a desk or places to plug in my laptop, right? Something like this. And then a closing. Okay. So from the email, she said, I hope to hear from you soon. These are other common closings you can use. So thank you, thanks so much, best regards. Okay. So if you go to the second page, here's our task, right? There's a spot for each of you. So we'll put, David, you can be student 1. And then, not the right way. Yes, you can be student 2. And I'll give you guys about 5 minutes to write, and then we'll go an extra 5 minutes so I can correct your emails. Do you guys have any questions? Okay, so go ahead. Let me know if you have questions while you're writing, but 5 minutes, and then we'll check. And I'm here.
The name is not important.
For the person?
Yes.
No. Yeah. If you, so you can use this Airbnb listing if you want, but if you want to be creative and do a different one, or just imagine something, you can do that too.
Writing anything we want, teacher?
So I want you to write to a host on Airbnb and then tell these details, right? So just like our example, she says how many days she'll stay, the reason that she's traveling, and some other things. So tell the days you will stay, the reason for your trip, give some details. She said, I don't party hard, and ask for some special requirements.
Okay, understand.
New York?
Yeah, it's in New York. You could ask, what are some cool places to go in New York? Something like this.
Maybe I visit 7 days. The reason for 7 days. Visit New York for holiday. Only 7 days. Eat. Correct. Apartment. Yes. apartment.
Oh yeah, do you see there's a red line under your apartment there, David?
What?
Do you have a red line under here,
Yes.
apartment?
Or
So
is-
yeah, you can just do the right click on your mouse in Google Documents, you see? And it will give you the correct one.
all right. Is apartment.
That's right.
In New York. What places is
So Times Square, you know, he says minutes away from Times Square. You know this one, right? All the big buildings and stuff.
square?
Like here.
Uh,
That's Times Square.
pizza.
New York pizza.
Yes. Where is pizza? And um, by clothes. Horse. Horse. I don't remember. What is the
That's fine. Stores.
horse? Very, very quiet. Very quiet. It's very quiet. Think quiet. Kind of drink. Paris. PM.
Okay, nice job. Are you still working, Chung?
Yes.
Yeah, Chung, keep going. If you want to go ahead and finish. Okay, you're almost done. All right, great job, guys. So I see lots of details about your trips, right? The number of days and some of the requirements, what you want to do. So I want each of you to read your email and then I will help you make some corrections. So David, why don't you go first and read?
All right. Dear camp, I visit New York for holiday. Only 7 days. I need an apartment pet friendly because I have a dog. I want visit Times Square and eat pizza and buy clothes in the stores. My dog is very quiet and clean. I'm not drinking, no parties. Best regards, Dave.
All right, I see lots of details about the trip. If you sent this to him, he would probably give you suggestions. Okay, go to this store, eat pizza here, you know, these things.
All right.
So just missing a few little tiny words, prepositions here and there. So
All right.
actually, let's start here with the verb. Is this in the present or the future? your trip.
Filter I will visit.
Yeah, so go ahead and fix there.
All right.
I will visit.
All right. I will visit
Great job.
New York
Yes.
for holidays.
The future. And then we're missing one preposition between holiday and 7 days. So
Sure.
for only 7 days.
For
Oh.
only 7 days. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, and that connects it better. Mhm.
For
Great.
only 7 days.
Also, in English, is it apartment pet friendly or
Pet friendly apartment. Yes.
yes? So go ahead and switch that.
All right. Pet friendly. All right. Apartment.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yes. And then here we're missing another word. So I want visit. I want to visit.
I want to visit. Oh, yes. Yes. I want visit
Great.
Times Square.
That's good. And then this here, we need to change the verb a little bit. We don't use I am. We would use I do.
I do.
I do not.
Yes, because yes.
Or I don't drink.
Connection, no?
Contractions, yes. So you can say
I don't drink. Yes?
that's great.
I don't drink.
All right, perfect. Okay, any questions there, Debbie?
No.
Very good. Lots of details. Now it's very clear, right?
All right.
Okay. Good job. Now let's go to Chung. Can you read your email?
Yes. Dear Camps, I'm Chung from Vietnam. I will stay in New York a few days. I think about 5 days in your place. I hope everything is okay when I'm traveling. I love technology. I need I need a strong internet. I want to visit New York to explore how do the people living. Best regard.
All right, good job. Okay, so just a couple things here, Chung. There's something you actually said. We're missing some words here, and you said them when you read it. So we need a subject and a verb, or we need a word to connect these two sentences. So you can say, I love technology and need strong internet.
Yes.
But when you read before, you said, and I need strong internet.
Yeah.
So you could either add and need strong internet or and I need strong internet. So go ahead and type there. Yeah, that's great. Now that's a complete sentence. Yes. Okay. And then just one other thing for you here, Chung. It says, how do the people living? We can make this a little bit shorter. So when we have how, we want to do the sentence in this form. I'll just type it for you. So how the people live. Let me explain why. Oops. So this is whenever you have how or maybe what, you could say like explore what the people do. You want it to be like a normal sentence, right? So it would just be subject and verb again, just like a normal sentence. So another sentence would be the people live in New York. So I want to visit New York to explore how the people live in New York. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, and that just makes it a little more simpler and easy to understand. But other than that, everything's well written. Okay, do you have any questions, Chung?
No, teacher.
Okay, great. All right, guys, so nice practice. Hopefully you learned a little bit more about Airbnb. Let's just remember what we did at the beginning. We said, do you use Airbnb? Is it common in your country? So maybe not so common, but we looked at this listing together, right? So lots of details. It's a little bit tricky with the pricing. You have to think about the dates and the fees. We saw, about being a superhost. Remember amenities. We can use this for Airbnb and for hotels. Those are the services, the things that are available. We looked at the host, the policies, the neighborhood. Then we looked at our example email, right? So remember, when you book with Airbnb, the host will send you a message and say, hello, what do you need? What's your plans? This email we practice is a reply to that message, right? Saying, the days you will stay, what your plans are, if you have questions, details about yourself, right? So remember, listing, that's an advertisement for a house. Party hard means to drink a lot, right? Then you guys practice by producing your own emails. So pretty good. I think you guys were able to communicate well. When you write to a host on Airbnb, this will be just fine. Okay. And then you guys, you can have this this link. This document is open to you as long as you need it, if you want to copy some of these things. Do you guys have any questions before we finish?
No, teacher. Thank
Okay.
teacher.
You're welcome. Well, it's nice to meet you, Debbie. Nice to see you, Chuck. And I hope you have a good night in Vietnam and a good day in Mexico. All right. I'll see you next time.
Yes, see you.
Bye.